Absolutely.
Hi friends, very exciting conversation. I have RajivKumar here with me. Rajiv is basically the founder of Rocketalk, which is a very exciting social network with a twist. They only do multimedia. So you're not expected to write and text, you're expected to talk and video, and they only do it on the mobile, which is again something very exciting and very interesting and very different. The interesting part is they are the largest such network. They've got 18 million subscribers already, and quite exciting as a story. So without further ado, Rajiv, do you want to talk a little bit more about your business?
Sure. We started in this country about 3.5 years ago. And when we started, there weren't enough phones to go around, the right phones on which applications like ours could even be downloaded, much less even used. But now the ecosystem has changed, the mobile ecosystem has changed. There's much better phones, much better wireless data capabilities. So you can actually take these applications like ours, download them and use them within 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. And what people do in our case is they download, they use, and the use they have is all entertainment and fun based. Mm-hmm. It's all about entertainment. So they'll go into a community. We have this concept of a community, which is a group. Mm-hmm. Group of, it could be as little as 5 people, but it could be 1 million people as well. So there are these groups, and I'll give you an example. There's a community called Mehfil. Mm-hmm. Mehfil is poetry. And so this community comes alive like 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, and it'll go on till about 2 in the morning.
Wow.
And these people come in, people will come in from all over the world, and they'll speak in their own voice, and they'll share their own poetry, their own shai sometimes. Sometimes it's romantic, sometimes it's monsoon, sometimes it's about love, sometimes it's about just being sad and sentimental. And they talk about all this, and you'll hear hundreds of voices during the 15 minutes that you're there, or 2 hours. And a lot of people stay for 2 hours, 3 hours. They just keep listening. It's like a personal radio at that time, and with people across the world actually speaking in. And all you're doing it is on your phone. Everything is on your phone, or your mobile phone.
That's so fascinating. And you were also talking about another experience out there when you were talking about Antakshari, right? And do you want to talk a little bit more about that as well?
Sure. See, the Antakshari was a unique concept we came up with, where Antakshari as a game, all of us Indians, or many of us Indians do know, and we do love it. So what we did there was, we took that game and put it on the mobile, where a person could come in, they could sing, and the last letter of that song or the track they sang, they might only sing for 30 seconds, but the last letter somebody else has to sing. So we created a platform where you had these contestants, you can have these contestants play against each other, and eventually of course there's a winner because people keep dropping out, and there's one person left at the end, and that person then wins the prize. So we ran this thing, which happened to be sponsored by Nokia. It was supposed to be a 3-week game. It turned out to be 4.5 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
And because the interest was so high, and we thought maybe if 1 lakh people play, it would be enough. But it turns out there were 3.5 lakh people that actually played this game, and they had fun. And 3.5 lakh people played, but about 8 million views were there for those songs.
Right.
So because if I sang, since it's a social network, you have friends in the network. You have 10 friends. Somebody
has
30
times the number of people that play, isn't it?
Because everybody, and because it's not just my friends who view mine. Because if I'm rated high, because voting can happen, and voting did happen. If I'm rated in the top few, many other people will just come and click and see, how the heck is this Rajiv guy singing? Does he even know how to sing? So that's how it turned out.
Hey, don't look to me for singing, eh?
I don't sing either, so I had the worst voice.
So exciting. So I sort of get a picture about how you're able to create that stickiness with the audience and all. But how about the business model? How are you able to make the model work and sustain and expand and grow and all that?
So like I was just talking about this Antakshari, that was a sponsored game, and we have many such sponsored games. So what we try to do is more branding based campaigns. It's not so much performance based. It's not the traditional advertising. It's not just a banner ad that you put up and somebody has to click on it and then you get to make money. Some of it might happen like that, but very little in our kind of application. It's more of these Antakshari kinds. And there's another recent one that I can describe for you. What we did there during the Olympics, just the 2 weeks of the Olympics, Google, YouTube, they gave us a ringtone, which they said if people can set it up as their ringtone in the network, of course they paid us for it. It was just a cheer song for the Indian Olympics team. So if I came in, I said my audio profile. There's a concept of an audio profile or voice profile in Rocketalk. So I can go in and talk about myself. I'm Rajiv, I do this, I do that, I'm an entrepreneur, whatever. So people could, instead of that, for those 2 weeks, they could select, or even for 10 minutes, they could select and say, I'll cheer for the Olympic team. So if you visit my profile, you'll hear the Olympic song instead of my voice.
Okay.
So that was an engagement campaign. And of course we got paid well for it. And a similar thing, Fanta wanted to talk about the Fanta brand. And so there what we came up with is these ad format of a greeting card. People had to send greeting cards anyway. They would send I love you greeting card, or happy birthday being the most common, or just have a great day. I mean, most people just say have a good day or a good night. Sometimes they just have a badge saying good night.
Okay.
So we branded those little cards with a Fanta background, orange background, Fanta there. So you found these millions of things happening with a greeting card going in, but Fanta embedded in that. So that was how we got paid. So that's how we monetized the application.
Fantastic. I think that was excellent and a great insight coming out of it. The next question is really around, what do you see for the Indian market going forward? What do you see as the exciting opportunities that are out there?
Well, the Indian market already has 800, 900 million mobile users. So it's going to be the number 2 mobile market, if not number 1. Number 1, I'm thinking China will still be number 1. So we have a long way to go. And although it's been 10 years since the cell phone or mobile phone revolution came in, but it's now beginning to really take off. The ecosystem has evolved. Everybody has a mobile phone, and they have it in their pocket or their purse. And they are able to use a lot of things on that phone. And so it's just a very beginning. So far we've all been used to applications that have been coming in from the West. It's only very recently that people are starting to develop these applications for the Indian market here. And I think we have just, it's the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more excitement that will come with local content, applications that are local in nature. Like Antakshari is a local thing. I mean, you won't relate to it if you were living in, let's say, Australia, unless you were an Indian. You may not relate to it. That's the kind of stuff that will happen.
You'll see that. Okay, brilliant. The next question really, Rajiv, IIT Bombay, Wipro, lots of corporate experience, and then you got into entrepreneurship. What drives you? What motivates you? What are you about?
Well, even at Wipro, I was fortunate to get the opportunity to actually start off a brand new area of operation. It was at that time in real-time systems, and I had to start an office in Hyderabad, and I did that. And that gave me the first sort of kind of insight. And then I moved to the US. And there I had many other opportunities to go start off a company. The most recent before Rocketalk was a company called Vidcom that was in the Bluetooth area. So if you have Bluetooth on your phone, it probably came from there. Software, most software originated from that company. Of course, it was acquired by a much larger company called Broadcom. But that was a lot of fun because you created something brand new, and the legacy still is there. I feel good anytime somebody uses Bluetooth even now because it was created there.
Fantastic. Last question to you. There are a lot of entrepreneurs that are looking for messages, ideas, thoughts, advice. You're a successful entrepreneur. What do you have for them? What would you tell them?
Well, I would say just step back, figure out what your passion is, what drives you yourself, like internally for you. Stick to it. Stick to your path. Don't deviate. People will try to say, there's a lot of naysayers. People will try to tell you or convince you otherwise. You go on your path. Of course you do your research, of course you take the right advice from your peers and your mentors, but continue down that path. Eventually you'll see success.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Rajiv. Really, thank you for having me.